Hello everybody, this is a quick video to show a tool called Reactor that we've built. It's an Office add-in, or more specifically an Outlook add-in, to help you deal with incoming email quickly and efficiently. I'm not talking about spam here, we have filters for that of course, but the vast amount of legitimate email. It has rather become the scourge of modern working life. But a lot of it can actually be responded to with fairly standard messages that might just need one or two slight changes. We wrote the original version of Reactor about a year ago, and for all its faults, it's actually something that I find myself using every day, and there have been about 35,000 downloads from the Office store. But we wanted to bring it up to date using the new Office UI Fabric look and feel and the new add-in Command UI feature. And also there were a few highly requested features, so we thought it was a good time for an upgrade and to implement a few more ideas as well. Here's the native Outlook client application, and I've installed the Reactor add-in against my Office 365 account. Actually, it's a trial account I use for demos, and I've outstayed my welcome, so the Azure team have sent me a rather poignant message of farewell here. Now, obviously I would normally delete this, but instead let's click on the Reactor button in the ribbon. Now, the Reactor add-in pane comes up and you can see the default message reply is selected along with a preview of the message. It's not very exciting, but at least it gives us the beginnings of a message that I can send and optionally edit by clicking on the button. So the message editor pops up as normal. I can now make edits if needed and send the email, and I'm done. I can also pick from this, let's get rid of that. I can pick from this list of messages if I know roughly what I want to say. Now, some of these are for fun. For example, if I get one of those slightly rude one-liners which then have half a page of meaningless legal disclaimer tacked on the end of every reply, I can retaliate in a rather satisfying way with this template here. Please note that we have our own legal disclaimer that supersedes yours. And then they can read about how by sending email to any of my addresses, you're agreeing that I am by definition the intended recipient. I can do what I like with your message, and I don't need any advice from your legal department about the nature of email communication. Or we could send them this one. Each time you select it, you get some more randomly generated business mumbo-jumbo, which will probably keep them quiet for a while they figure out what on earth it means. But more seriously, if I take one of these other messages, for example, this one, actually this is quite common, web development message. And it's an offer to do web development. It's not really spam. It's probably one of those where you should really send a polite no thanks back, or we'll likely get a follow-up email, or worse, some phone calls. So if I open the Reactor pane, you can see it has actually analyzed the subject of the message, and also, and this is new in this version, it's done some analysis of the body of the message as well. And it's automatically selected the correct template. So all I have to do is hit send. So that's another one-man web development company that's going to get the personal touch without requiring any time or effort on my part. Now if we go over to the settings page, we won't send that, and go to settings, you can see that you can configure some strings, like how I want to address people, signature, and things like that. Maybe the address of a FAQ page. And then below we can see how those strings can be used in these various templates. And this is another new feature in this version, so there's a string substitution format. Now the other tabs are an about page and some help. And this help page is actually the first page that you'll get when you run the add-in for the first time, and after that it defaults to this home page. So now let's look at the same mailbox but using the Outlook web application. So this is in Office 365, and you can see that there isn't a ribbon, which is interesting, but the add-in command is here. It appears as this rather tiny icon here, and to be honest I missed this when I first tried it out, and you get an almost, once you click on that, you get an almost identical experience as in the native application, so you can continue to use it on the go. So it's a tool that works across platforms and allows you to save a serious amount of time and become more productive in dealing with one of the banes of the modern workplace, email. So that's Reactor. Any questions, email me and I'll give you a completely personal reply. Thanks very much.